Hi everybody. Today we're going to talk about a poem I Say by Simon Armitage. So let me rehearse the poem before we analyze and talk about the poem today. So here we go. Anyone here had a go at themselves for a laugh? Anyone opened their wrist with a blade in the bath? Those in the dark at the back, listen hard. Those at the front in the know, those of us who have hands up, let's show that inch of lacerated skin between the forearm and the fist. Let's tell it like it is. Strong drink, a crimson tide mark round the tub, a yard of lint, white towels washed a dozen times, still pink, tough luck. A passion then for watches, bangles, cuffs. Likely story. You are lashed by bambles, picking berries from woods. Come clean, come good, repeat with me the punchline. Just like blood. When those at the back rush forward to say how little love goes a long, long, long way. So, before we go further, let me just make clear that since I write it in a hand way, so the line of this poem looks quite different with the original version. So please bear with it, and you might want to go search for the original poem and sentence, and you might want to look at the actual structure of a sentence of original poem, because due to a time space limit, and the sentence here looks quite different with the original poem. Okay, now that being said, let's go dive into the poem. So in the first sentence, Simon is asking a question. Anyone here had a go at themselves or laugh? So here he is asking if anybody here, you ever mock yourself, you ever make fun of yourself, you ever laugh at yourselves. So he is asking the question to those people who have low self-esteem. So if you have a high self-esteem and pride, you don't really laugh at yourself. You respect yourself, but the person who has a low self-esteem might laugh at themselves. So he's asking a question for those people who have ever experienced laughing at themselves. And also in the second sentence, anyone open their wrist with a blade in the bath? Also, he is asking a question if anyone ever tried to open your wrist with a blade. So he's nonchalantly asking a question. You ever try to kill yourself? You ever try to commit suicide by cutting your wrist with a blade? So it's such a terrible question, but the poet is asking question nonchalantly, without feeling anything. And third line says, those in the dark at the back, listen hard. So the people, those in the dark, is a little bit of a comparison and metaphor, I guess. So the people, those in the dark at the back, is referring to just people who have never tried to commit suicide. People who have never tried to kill themselves is referred as those in the dark at the back. And he is saying that if you never tried to kill yourself, and if you never felt that kind of pain, or if you never experienced that kind of hardship, please listen carefully. What am I about to tell you? Please listen carefully. So here, and he says that the dark, those in the dark. So normally we can say that people who are normal, who never try to commit suicide, is in a dark, in a light place, in bright place, and people who experience such a hardship and felt gloomy, and maybe that people might be in the dark place. So, but he is using the opposite metaphor, opposite way, by referring to dark people. Those in the dark is just normal, perfectly normal people. So by using those in the dark at the back, by saying this way, Simon is trying to try to sympathize with those people who try to kill themselves, try to sympathize with those poor people. And also those at the back front in the know, those of us who have, hands up. So he is saying that those at the front in the know, so these people, those at the front in the know, is a group of people who thought about killing themselves, who commit suicide. So he is saying that the people in the know using some positive phrases. So those of us, so people who have sharing the similar experience of pain and terrible experience, please hands up. So show yourself. So let's show that inch of lacerated skin between the forearm and the fist. So instead of just being shy or being in the dark place and being alone, show that inch of lacerated skin here. So lacerated skin is like damaged skin and like hurt skin. You know, these people, they try to cut open their wrist once at least. So it's quite natural that they have some kind of lacerated skin on their wrist because of their trial. And show your wrist to put your hands up and show your wrist to people. And let's tell it like it is. So instead of just being silent and being shy and all on your own, let's tell everybody how you felt and what you went through and what experience you have. So your experience might look something like this: a strong drink. You know, the strong drink referring to a strong alcohol, beer or vodka or any alcohol beverage. You know, you are determined to kill yourself, and it will be really difficult to kill yourself in sober situation. You need a boost. You need a help. You need some type of actions. You need some kind of audacity from the power of alcohol. So it involves a strong drink and a crimson tide mark round the top. Now, crimson tide refers to your blood, right? So you try to cut your wrist open, and there's blood all over, making a tide mark in the bathtub. Usually, I don't know why, but people who try commit themselves, they try cut their wrist inside the bathtub. So there is a crimson tide mark around the top, and also a yard of lint. Yard of lint, white, and you know, you just need a yard of, not just a lint. You need a yard of lint. Why? Because there are a lot of blood. So just small piece of lint wouldn't do it. You need the entire yard of lint in order to wipe up all the blood that came from the wrist. And also, there is white towel. White towels washed a dozen times. So it refers to that, you know, there are a lot of blood, so it's still pink. So you wash the white towel dozen times, still pink. So it implies that you spilled a lot of blood, and also it implies that it's not just once you try to cut your wrist open, just several times, because you know you washed it dozen times, still pink, refers to you tried several times. And tough luck. So the tough luck is implying that you know, you tried at least to commit suicide, and luckily or unluckily, or fortunately or unfortunately, you made it back. You survived, and you went through that terrible experience of killing yourself. So that's implied by saying that tough luck. You had tough luck. A passion then for watches, bangles, and cuffs. So, you know, suddenly you have a passion for the watches, bangles, and cuffs. You know, you try to cut your wrist, and there's got to be a scar on your wrist, and apparently you want to hide it with some accessories like watches and bangles and cuffs. So suddenly once you made it back to your life, you want to have more watches, you're interested in buying bangles and cuffs in order to hide your scar. And this likely story is that you want to like come up with an excuse, even for your close friend. You're lashed by brambles picking berries from the woods. So it's a likely story, likely excuse is that you went to the wood, you went to the forest, and you're trying to pick some berries, and these brambles cut your skin and your wrist, so you got hurt and you got a scar out of this cherry picking trial, not out of your suicide trial. So the Simon is saying, come clean, come good, and repeat with me the punchline just like blood. So Simon is telling these people who went through this terrible experience, instead of just being alone and suffering all your own, come out, come clean, come with me, and repeat with me the punchline just like blood. So be bold and let the people know about your terrible situation, about your emotional hardship, and tell them instead of hiding it. Okay? So when those at the back rush forward to say how a little love goes a long, long, long way. So those at the back is the people who never experienced this terrible emotion, the people who are in quite a normal condition. When these people try to show some interest to those people who are in the hardship, when they come out and say how a little love, how a little small love, small affection can go a long way and save some life, when they say it, you also please come out with me and come clean, and let's repeat the punchline just like blood. So the Simon is saying to these people that instead of just being yourself and in the dark side, please come out with me and please share with your terrible emotion or experience with everybody. So this is a really graphic and with a lot of nice imagery techniques, and it's try to send some signals, some messages for the people. Okay, and thank you guys. Thank you for listening.